I did make every effort to include the latest scientific studies. Please note though that research is constantly changing and one clinical trial cannot always cover diverse bodies and communities.
Individual responses to foods, herbs, supplements, and treatments may vary based on a variety of factors, including genetics, environment, diet, and other lifestyle factors.
Even solid clinical trials and studies tend to have an agenda or underlying bias, and despite the best intentions and efforts of researchers, the scope and purpose of scientific research will always be somewhat limited by factors such as funding, ethics, and logistical constraints. Relying on a single expert or source can be risky, as errors and biases can occur. It's best to verify information from multiple sources before accepting it at face value. Engage in due diligence and critical thinking to ensure that you are making informed decisions. If you wish to deep dive into the topic, you can check on your references posted in the description box below.
The term ulcer might conjure images of gaping holes, but the reality is a bit more nuanced. Stomach ulcers are essentially sores that develop on the lining of the stomach, small intestine, or esophagus. While they can lead to erosions or perforations in severe cases, they don't necessarily mean there's a literal hole in your stomach. If a sore develops in the lining of the stomach, it is called a gastric ulcer, but if it develops in the first part of the small intestine, it's called a duodenal ulcer. According to a study published in 2022, peptic ulcer disease affects 4 million people worldwide annually and has an estimated lifetime prevalence of 5 to 10% in the general population. H. pylori bacteria are actually a pretty common reason behind stomach and duodenal ulcers. These sneaky bacteria mess with the protective mucus in your stomach and intestines, which lets stomach acid do some damage to the lining. It's unclear exactly how H. pylori spreads, but researchers believe it's mostly through contaminated food, water, and eating utensils. Many people acquire this infection during childhood, but it often doesn't lead to ulcers. Symptoms usually appear later in life, if at all. And in a 2017 study titled Peptic Ulcer Disease and Non-Steroidal Anti-Inflammatory Drugs, people who use or rely on non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, such as aspirin, ibuprofen, and naproxen, are more likely to develop peptic ulcers. In general, stomach ulcers are not deadly when managed appropriately. Through medical care and treatment, the majority of cases can be successfully addressed. However, if complications like severe bleeding, perforation, or obstruction are left untreated, there is a potential for the ulcer to become life-threatening. It's crucial to seek medical attention to properly manage and treat ulcers to avoid potential complications. Royal jelly is a nutritious and creamy substance secreted by honeybee workers to nourish and feed the queen bee and young bee larvae in a hive. It's rich in essential nutrients, including proteins, lipids, vitamins, and minerals, making it a vital food source for the development of young bees and the maintenance of the queen bee's health and longevity. According to a 2012 study, royal jelly has been demonstrated to possess many pharmacological activities in experimental animals, including anti-tumor, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, anti-allergic, anti-aging, and anti-hypertensive properties. In humans, its oral ingestion improves lipoprotein metabolism and reduces serum total cholesterol and low-density lipoprotein levels. An old comparative study published in 1990 found that royalizin, one of the various components of royal jelly, exhibited potent antibacterial activity against gram-positive bacteria, particularly at low concentrations. However, it did not display similar activity against gram-negative bacteria.
By the way, before I continue, if you're new here, I'm Jera from the Philippines. Welcome to my channel where I share my knowledge and discoveries about everything related to anti-aging, natural health remedies, dogs and cats, and personal development gained from reading research articles, scientific journals, and books written by doctors and experts. If you also have a gluttonous appetite for new knowledge, please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so that you'll get notified whenever I upload new content. Also, you might want to check out my mini ebook, 40 Wrinkle Fighters Other Than Retinol, backed by scientific studies. Just click the link in the description box below for more details.
Moving on, a 2016 review highlights that various components of royal jelly, including royalizin, 10-hydroxy-2-decenoic acid, gelines, and major royal jelly proteins, have demonstrated antimicrobial effects against different types of bacteria. And in a study published in 2020, researchers investigated the potential of royal jelly in promoting the healing of wounds induced by acetic acid in the gastric mucosa of male rats. The study involved 96 adult male Wistar rats divided into 4 groups: control, omeprazole 20 mg per kilogram, and 2 groups given royal jelly at doses of 50 and 200 mg per kilogram. Stomach mucosal wounds were created in each rat using 100% acetic acid. The treated groups received omeprazole or royal jelly from the 1st to the 14th day day after ulcer induction. The progress of ulcer healing and histopathological changes were assessed on days 4, 7, 10, and 15 post-ulceration. Results showed that administration of royal jelly notably reduced the depth of lesions compared to the control group and prompted favorable histopathological changes in the treatment groups. The most substantial healing effect was seen with royal jelly on the 10th day of treatment, particularly at the higher concentration of 200 milligrams per kilogram. In conclusion, the findings indicate that royal jelly effectively contributed to wound healing and demonstrated valid gastroprotective activity. These results suggest the potential use of royal jelly in peptic ulcer therapy, supporting its role in enhancing wound healing and potentially offering benefits for treating stomach ulcers. While the findings are promising in a rat model, the efficacy and safety of royal jelly in humans, including appropriate dosages and potential adverse effects, should be studied rigorously before clinical application. On the other side of the coin, sometimes science lags behind, sometimes way behind. One example is turmeric. Researchers are only now really starting to understand the health benefits of curcumin, even though it's been used medicinally for thousands of years. Curcumin is the main active ingredient in turmeric. It has powerful anti-inflammatory effects and is a very strong antioxidant. Another example is brewer's yeast. The British Medical Journal published a report in 1854 that suggested 2 to 3 daily tablespoons of brewer's yeast could cure diabetes in 6 weeks. But it took another 150 years before it was finally put to the test in a randomized, double-blind, controlled clinical trial, and researchers found that a daily half teaspoon of brewer's yeast for 3 months resulted in improved insulin sensitivity and a significant drop in fasting blood sugars and hemoglobin A1C. Before taking any supplements, it is important to consult with a healthcare professional or your doctor. If you have a known kidney or liver condition, your healthcare provider may suggest regular monitoring of kidney and liver function through blood tests. If your trusted doctor recommends trying royal jelly, you can find high-quality royal jelly supplements on iHerb.com. You can save some money by using the code APT0317 when you check out. The cool thing is, this special discount code doesn't have an expiration date, so you can use it whenever you shop on iHerb.com. As it is a honey product, anyone with a bee-related allergy should avoid using royal jelly. Just remember, what works for some people may not necessarily work for everyone. If you already tried it all and followed many doctors and health gurus, but nothing worked, you may find the answer by doing some digging into your genes. If you want to get to the root cause of some of your health issues, the first step is to find your problem genes. Taking personalized supplements based on your DNA may also help, and SelfDecode can help you with that. SelfDecode provides personalized health recommendations based on a combination of your DNA, labs, and environmental factors. There are just too many diets, supplements, and health hacks out there to waste your time and money on stuff that probably isn't going to work for you. So if you want to experiment in the most efficient and effective way, click on the link in the description box below to check out SelfDecode and unlock your own genetic blueprint.
If you've learned something you didn't know before watching this presentation and you appreciate the time I invested in researching, writing, and creating this presentation, please give this video a like. If you're interested in looking and feeling your best and exploring natural solutions, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching!